Hello everyone! So today we have a puck tutorial. It is one of my favorite mid heroes and one hero I am fairly confident in playing. I currently have around 78, well not around, exactly 78.26% win rate out of last 23 matches, or this month essentially, and hopefully I can teach you guys how to play him better and how to think and what to look out for when you are playing the puck. So yeah, let's begin. So we're gonna be splitting this tutorial into three phases. Early game, the laning phase, mid game, rotations and fights, and late game, scaling and impact. We're gonna be trying to answer questions that you should be asking yourself at the moment. So as far as the early game goes, as far as laning stage goes, the first question is, how do you keep the lane equilibrium? So the way you do the lane equilibrium basically is you either push the hell out of the lane, so like it goes into the opponent's tower, or you try to deny as much as you can. You can pull the creeps and you can try to CS, of course, but generally the way you get ahead on the lane, right, is by amassing experience, essentially. Like, you do not need necessarily the gold, you need experience. And the way you do that is by harassing the hell out of your opponent, right? So what you want to be doing as a puck is making sure that you can successfully harass your opponent. So using your spells to just harass is probably not good enough. You want to be doing CSing and harassing at the same time. That will make your opponent get some salves, get some health items, get like support to help him. Your job is to just be there and get experience, at least until like level 6 or level 7. So how do you handle enemy ganks? Well, you are puck. If they're gonna gank you, you are pretty good, you know? The only thing like you need to be careful is diving under tower, because early on you're not that, I mean you are mobile, but you're not that mobile, so yeah. So as laning phase comes to an end, for puck it comes end sooner. Why? Because you will get level 6. After you get level 6, you are one of the best or the strongest heroes on the map. You have 2 spells for burst, you have a lockdown, you have everything you need to start rotating. So after level 6 you don't necessarily need to immediately go, but that's about the time you'll be getting rune. And after you get it, okay, in this particular spot I got ganked, but in general also like getting ganked is absolutely fine. Like if you get ganked, that means like the lanes are free. It's actually maybe even better than actually killing someone, because like if you kill someone he just TPs back with full HP, and if supports rotate, if supports rotate for you, they need to walk back. So yeah, here it doesn't matter, like it's only support, it's like kill is a kill. If you manage to get it, we are pressuring, line is top, Illidan can't farm. I basically did my job. Yes, Lashak is farming, which is annoying, but at the same time he's also under pressure to TP and help his teammates, because even if he's like free farming on mid lane, right, if you win the other 2 lanes you basically won the early game. So yeah, that's how you transition from early game to mid game. So how do you use Dream Coil and how do you essentially use spells effectively? Generally it is better to use it on at least one. Like it does not necessarily need to be like 5-man Dream Coil, right? I mean that's the dream, right? That's the Dream Coil, but it does not necessarily need to be that way, right? Like if you use it on one hero to get like a carry kill, that is perfectly fine. If you use it on a support, especially early on, it is also pretty fine. So What is my role in teamfights as mid-puck? Your role is essentially damage and lockdown. I mean, I know it's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of, yeah, but I know it sounds obvious, but that's your role. Like, your role in teamfights is to spam your spells and not die. You do not have to efficiently, like super efficiently spam your spells. Like, it does not have to be 5-man Dream Coil and 5-man Orb or whatever. Like, you're basically a nuisance that does decent amount of damage. You're there to make support's life miserable and to essentially make carry stand in place. Not necessarily kill him, but like there are other heroes in your team that are maybe better than that. So that's kind of your role. So, late game. Late game came, night is out. What do you do? How do you balance aggression and defense as a puck? Well, luckily for you, you have a lot of escape mechanisms. There is Blink, there is Yule, there is generally trying to, like, there is phase shift, there is like a lot of stuff to balance it. The way you wanna do that is, you essentially do not necessarily need to be doing like you'll naturally do some damage as a puck. However, your primary goal late game is to survive, right? You do not need to do some lots of amazing spells, right? You just need to like use 2 spells and get out, you know? Like, you need to be nuisance, like you need to be very annoying as a puck. So that's essentially how do you balance it out. If you think you're gonna die, if you cast 1 more spell, then just don't cast it, like leave, you know? Like this, for example, what I'm doing right now, when I go in and I dump spells and I come back, that's more than enough. That's initiation, that's getting people out of position, that's a lot of stuff going on with just 2 spells, right? I'm forcing other people to make mistakes, and that's kinda where you wanna be. That's where your balance wants to be. How do you deal with enemies who counter puck? Badly, honestly. Well, like in general, enemies that counter puck are not, well, in the current meta there's not that many, but those that do, like, you wanna buy BKB, you wanna buy Yule Scepter, you wanna buy as many defensive items, if not all the defensive items. Like, Ghost Scepter is perfectly fine on puck, you know? Like, if they have like Ursa with Orchid and Nullifier and everything else, you're probably gonna die. But if, like, before he gets Nullifier, you can just buy Ghost Scepter and it's like he Orchids you and like you're watching each other. Like, you're just high-fiving each other, I don't know. You're watching into Ursa's deep eyes. You know, and like, do not be afraid to go too defensive on puck, because he naturally does a lot of damage. Like, if you have Witchblade, your damage is basically, like, you do not need more damage than that, because essentially puck does not necessarily have to be the main damage dealer. It's fine if he is third. He should be secondary damage dealer, but like, it's fine if he is third, you know? Items. Okay, so generally as a puck, what you want to do is like start with, well, your first bigger item should be bottle, and after that you can go either threads or you can go boots of travel. In this particular game I went boots of travel. Boots of travel is kind of rarer, and you want to be doing boots of travel only if your offlane won his game, right? Like, if your offlane is doing badly, you just cannot do that. But if the bottom one, the bottom tower is open, you have a lot of space to go and farm on the dead lane and pressure the dead lane. So that's pretty much the only, but I believe like around 80% of the time you want to be getting threads. The second item is 95% of the time gonna be Witchblade. Witchblade is very good. It is gives you mana, gives you armor, gives you damage, gives you a lot of stuff you wanna have as a puck, right? So that's probably gonna be your item. There is a possibility of getting Orchid as well, but it is not. The game needs to be very specific for you to get Orchid. So yeah, I would just go for the Witchblade. Second item, or second bigger item, should be blink. Like only very very rarely if you're really losing, right? You should be going Yule, right, or like a defensive item. But blink is just so good on puck. It's not even like it's not even that. It's just not. It's just too good. You know, like you should pretty much always be getting it. The third item is kinda that's where like the paths diverge, right? Depending on how your game goes, you wanna go Yule or you wanna go BKB. Honestly, I usually go Yule. It is around 85% of the time. It's gonna be Yule. There is not many better items than Yule. So for puck at least, like it gives you mana, gives you survivability, gives you everything you need. So in general, that's pretty good. Fourth item should be either Hex or Octarine Core. There is also games where you wanna be finishing the Witchblade with Parasma. Yeah, Parasma. That's the name of the item. There are also games like you wanna be finishing those, but generally Hex is just really really good. Like it gives you that CC that your team is gonna need. So it's gonna be Hex or Octarine Core. And after that you can finish the Parasma. So what about Aghanim Scepters? Aghanim Scepter is very... I mean, I don't want to say it's a troll build. I know like pros are building it and there are some good builds, but right now in the current meta, Aghanim Scepter just like takes way too many items, right? Like you need damage item, you need another maybe, I don't know, Maelstrom or like whatever people are going with Aghanim Scepter, and it's just like way too much. Like Hex is way more effective than Aghanim Scepter, so right now I wouldn't be buying Aghanim Scepter at all, honestly. But again, it depends on the game. If there is like a lot of if there's a lot of squishy heroes, I probably might go, but in general, as a puck, your job is, again, not, your main job is not damage, it's harassing and being annoying, essentially. Being the bane of support's existence. Okay, that's about that. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this is this has been educational enough. I would appreciate any feedback, honestly, like good or bad. I am desperately in need of feedback. I'm not that efficient at tutorials and stuff since I haven't been doing that. Also, if you want, like I do like free reviews and stuff. So if you want me to like do some, feel free to post it below. And yeah, thank you guys for watching and have a great day. Bye.